Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech protected.
And welcome to the feed.
It's inevitable that there's always a spelling
We always
error.
have
That's
a
all right.
spelling error. We like to. That's one of our things is we do a spelling error and then we have people call in to see whether they pick it up.
Spelling error of the week.
Yeah, that's the contest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put that. How'd you like our new opening? Huh?
I like it.
Woof. I don't know that that's the final new opening, but we have a new, speedy, spicy news-like opening. Yeah, we are so hip.
We are so hip.
That's what, it's part of the fact.
Yeah,
that we-
own minds,
pretty
in our
hip.
own
Yeah,
minds,
so
we're very
yeah, I mean, I
Come
finally
on.
made it up
Come on.
the feed.
Come on.
All right, Marty, local events.
Local events. So, starting with tomorrow evening is the annual Holiday Chamber Mixer, which is one of the biggest chamber mixers of the year.
Mhm.
It's held out at the Inn at Sexton's River. It starts at 5:30. It's sponsored by Coda and Coda, and traditionally every year they give away the Hugh Coda Gift of Warmth,
Yeah, that's a big
which
thing.
is a big drawing. It's also a chamber mixer that you don't have to be a chamber member to go to this chamber mixer. It's open to the public. Anybody
Oh,
can go. Yeah, you don't have to be
Yeah,
a
I
member of the
didn't realize
chamber.
that.
It's open to anybody. I think that's different than other
Mhm.
mixers. I think that's why this is a big one. And there's always a large amount of people. There's a silent auction, so
Great
there'll be
food.
prizes. Great food.
Yeah, amazing
Great
food.
atmosphere. The inn is always decorated beautifully. So that's tomorrow evening from 5:30 to, I think it usually goes to about 7:30.
Good silent auction items.
Good
too.
silent
Just
auction
throw that
items,
in there.
yep.
It's-
And then that leads us, this is like a big week, and
It
that
is.
leads us into Ladies' Night, which is traditionally one of, I think, the biggest events that Shop Local does, one of the best attended events, Ladies' Night. Doesn't mean that men can't go, but the primary focus is women going out with their friends. There's lots of festive events. There's things happening at all of the downtown merchants. And I also hear that Sam Maskell and and carolers dressed in Victorian
Oh, yeah?
Victorian
Oh, neat.
garb will be caroling through the town. So that's pretty exciting. Myself and Rainey Laware will be out in front of the bookstore selling holiday wreaths to benefit Rotary. They're the
Oh,
perfect,
nice.
the
The
birdseed
birdseed
wreaths.
wreaths? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
The perfect Christmas gift for that person. You just don't know what to give them. For $20, all the money goes to Rotary. Rotary then turns the money into community
Yes,
projects.
that's a good one.
And then next Friday night is the Shop Local, not just for men's night.
Yeah. Are you guys you and Rainey dressing
We're gonna
up
dress
in
as birds.
holiday? No, I
dress as
meant in
birds.
holiday garb, like Rainey could be an elf and you could be Mrs. Claus, or.
Well, we could. Rainey does have some elf costumes.
Yeah?
She told me.
Oh, there you
but I
go.
think it would
'Cause
be
I sort of
funnier if we were
remember that.
birds.
Or you could be birds, giant birds.
But no, like she does. There are elf Rotary costumes from the days of the Christmas movie.
Oh, really?
The Rotary. I guess the Rotary used to dress as elves. Thank God that's gone by the wayside.
I don't think that's gone by the wayside, Marty. I think that's something that you could do. I
Bring
really
back the
do. I
elf.
think. What do you think?
Yes.
As long as I have the jingly shoes, I'm
You would
good.
look
Yes.
amazing in an elf
I just
costume.
need the
You
jingly
would.
shoes.
You could rock it.
I can
You
rock
would,
it.
yes.
And then over at the Walpole Unitarian Church in the Hastings Parish House from December 16th through the 19th, and then it looks like on the 27th from 5 to 7 p.m. is the Labyrinth of Light.
Oh.
Have you ever gone over to that? Me neither.
No,
I've
neither
heard
have I.
about it,
It's amazing.
and it's
I know
like one
people
of
who
my.
come from far away to go to it.
Yeah, they basically what they do is they use greenery and lights, and they set up this big elaborate labyrinth, and the admission is by donation, and you go in, and it's a nice quiet
nice,
spiritual
yeah.
space. So it's on my bucket list to go to. I just seem to miss it every year. But
It's a
hopefully
busy
this
time of
year.
year.
It is a crazy busy
I
time.
mean, there's so
lots of
much
stuff
time,
going
so
on.
many things going on.
And there's a holiday dinner for Greater Falls Connections.
Yes. This is our 5th year. We're doing a holiday dinner. The youth in our Above the Influence youth leadership group several years ago said, we want to feed the community.
Oh.
So it happened to be time of year around the holidays, and we decided that we would do the monthly community dinner and turn it into a big holiday dinner.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's where and when?
It's
again?
at the First Baptist Church here in town at
Mhm.
5:30 on Monday the 16th.
Oh,
And that's the
nice.
church that's at the very top of the stairs, the white church. right?
Yes.
And having gone last year, I can attest to it is a wonderful event, and it literally is all done by the kids.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
God bless Deb Wickus for being in the kitchen
Mhm.
and organizing it, because
Yep.
it's hard enough to cook for a lot of people, but to cook for a lot of people and then, maybe have a group that's not as experienced with doing that. And
Yeah.
so
that's
so
a-
it's a really fun event.
really
There's good
sweet.
good
Family
food,
style,
family
the
style.
kids bring the food to the tables, and it's
Mhm.
really like having a community and a family.
It's
around
very,
the
very
holidays.
fun, so I highly recommend it.
Sort of segues to our guest today.
Yes.
Yes, Laura Shairbaum is the
Hi.
director of Greater Falls Connection. And Greater Falls Connections, I'm going to let you tell us what it is, but it's a local community organization that really connects, helps us work with each other, and we've done a lot as far as, and I don't know that you sort of aren't often the lead, but you are often right there putting everything together. I know we did the opium thing a couple of years ago, and without your organization, it just wouldn't have happened. I mean, it was,
Yeah.
you guys pulled it all together, and it was really good.
It's the connections.
It was a connection.
Connections,
Yeah.
Greater
So,
Falls Connections.
tell us about Greater Falls Connections and about yourself and how you
Yeah.
came to be here.
Yeah, so we're all about connections. When I first started 6 years ago now, which seems crazy.
My,
that
how
I've
time
been here
flies.
6 years, yeah. At my first meeting that I went to was a meeting where we relaunched our organization, rebranded to
Mhm.
become Greater Falls Connections.
And what was it before that?
We were the Greater Falls Prevention Coalition.
Okay,
So
yeah.
our focus is still on around reducing substance use and abuse,
Mhm.
specifically on supporting youth to create a community where we have substance-free youth and really kids are respected and really seen as assets in our community. So we're connections. So we're creating connections for youth. We're creating connections amongst service providers so that people aren't falling through the cracks, and creating connections for families so that they have what they need in order to support our community.
So where are you located?
We're at Parks Place Community Resource Center on School Street Extension, right next to Central Elementary School.
So you like right in the center of things. Then,
Yeah,
As far as
yeah.
the hub of what happens.
Yeah.
As far as the community and social services and everything
Yeah,
else.
it's great. I mean, they talk about hallway meetings,
Oh,
and
really?
we have those all the time in Parks Place. And Parks Place is an amazing resource, and we're really lucky to be there and to kind of be in tune with what's going on with the community, with other social service providers in the community, so that folks who come to our door, if they're, strapped for whatever resource, we can connect them with the folks who can help them get jobs, help them get benefits, help them get counseling. So that's really what we're all about, is creating connections in the community. So you'll see us out in the community connecting with everyone, because really we're about our kids, and it's about how we support our kids to be their best version of themselves, and it behooves us to be connected on their behalf so that we can spread that connection to them.
Yeah.
And you reach out often to or kids seem to find you, the kids that kind of could fall through the cracks, the kids that maybe don't have a lot of guidance, don't have a lot of connections themselves, so they connect with you all. They can be in the Above the Influence program, they can be in the Friends for Change program, they even can be on your board of directors. We have some youth on the board of directors.
Yeah.
And you, what was the term? I think Deb used the term, you help them build make a goal of dreams instead of drugs.
Yes.
That was,
Yeah.
that
More
was
dreams,
her-
less
more-
drugs.
That's it, more
Yes,
dreams. I
yes,
couldn't remember
yes.
exactly. I was at a meeting, I'm on the board, so I have,
Yeah.
and we were at a meeting Monday night, and I thought that was a really powerful statement for what you do, is you help empower these kids to understand that there is something different. Because many of them, they see that as a lifestyle because that's what they're around.
That's what they see. as
That's
a
what they
lifestyle,
see,
yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
helping them see something different. You're
Yeah.
empowering them.
Yeah.
And you've had some big success stories.
Mhm.
One of your kids that was on the board of directors is living in Burlington now, and I think we probably for privacy reasons can't say his name, or
Yeah,
maybe
but
he
I
might.
know
he
who
might,
you mean.
Yeah,
And
but
it's,
he's a
he's
big
Yeah.
success
doing really
story.
well.
I think the thing that I've been thinking about lately is really the story. I mean, a lot of kids have similar story. I mean, they're each unique. We all have our unique stories, but there's unique elements where, kids who might grow up with family members who have substance use, and they, parents who struggle with that and are not able for that reason to nurture them and to raise them, so they live with a family member, or they are involved with foster care, they're adopted, but then we can raise up these kids as a community to become leaders and to be recognized for their unique skills and their energy, because all these kids really have something unique about them, and it's not just our job as an agency to help nurture that, but to help encourage the community to nurture all of our kids, because
to celebrate them in a way.
yeah, and that's the thing, is that we look at how kids are being supported in our community, and it really only takes one positive adult in a kid's life to make a huge difference. So if you can do anything to support kids, it's really finding that spark and finding a kid to connect with, and we provide opportunities for the community to connect with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we provide training to kind of make people more comfortable, so that when they're walking down the street as an adult, you might not really be sure what to say or how to interact, or with a kid who may show up with a little,
Or may look a little
you
different.
may look a
or
little
act
different or act
or-
different, but really, it's so important to nurture our kids and to support our kids.
And I think recently at the community forums, a group of kids came, and they came through the Friends for Change group. They were at the forum that was last Wednesday night, the one that I think was on economic development and revitalization.
Yeah.
The one that were you at that one?
I was
as well?
at the education and housing. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
the kids
But I
kids
think
came.
it was great because there were probably half a dozen kids, and they came with the youth leaders of Friends for Change with Haley and Megan. And the kids wanted to go to certain workshops, so Haley and Megan and Deb, they said, okay, I'll go with you, and I'll help, help.
No, it was, again, there was a youth that I know has been involved with Friends for Change and with all of the connections that you put together, and a youth that in going around and getting community input was very vocal, very well spoken, had a lot of great ideas, and the moderator made the great point that what the work that's happening in the forums, he goes, some of the work, the future planning that can come out of it isn't necessarily going to affect him or some of the people in the room. It's gonna affect the kids, because the kids are gonna
And
be the
those
ones that are gonna
kids'
move into the
friends and
community in
theirs.
like 10, 20 years. So that was a really good point, and the fact that you all, I was just impressed that they came, number one, because I didn't see any other younger people there that weren't part of the Friends for Change or the Above the Influence group. I didn't see random youth that were outside those groups, and that they spoke up, because that's got to be an intimidating thing. So just the empowerment work that you do is powerful with those kids.
And we really, our philosophy is about raising up all voices in the community, and especially the kids, because it is about them. And we say from the disability community, they say nothing about us without us, and that was brought up in the session that I went to, and that's really what we believe. And if we really want to create a community that all kids feel connected with, we need to ask them what they want.
And those are your future leaders. Those are your future town managers, your future town employees, your future business owners.
And whatever choices kids make, we want them to make a choice for something positive in their life, and we want them to feel like they matter in the community. And there's something profound about deciding and accomplishing your own path in life, and we need to have that for all kids.
So tell us a little bit about your funding and how your funding works.
Yeah, so we're So we're like most agencies that that exist in our community, in our state. We mostly have federal and state funding, and we've been lucky. 8 years ago, a group of folks came together to apply for a drug-free communities support program, which is it's actually a highly competitive grant that the federal government gives, and they do 5 years, and then if you do well, you do another 5 years. So our community was awarded that grant 8 years ago, and that has enabled us to really create some infrastructure in the community and build up our organization so that we can, really have community ownership in the organization through our events and through participation of broad spectrum of the community. So like any organization, we want to diversify and create community ownership in our work. So last year was the first year that we asked the community to support our work and to support what we're doing in the community. So this year is our second year of doing a community.
It's a lot more letter stuffing this
campaign.
year.
Yes, and the board has really stepped up to support our community fundraising campaign. So we're trying to reach everyone within our area, which includes Rockingham, Westminster, Athens, and Grafton. And I've always worked in communities and done community development work and community organizing, and really having the community ownership over the work. And we're in a unique position where Greater Falls Connections is in Bellows Falls. We serve the surrounding communities, and we're not coming from other communities to come work here. I live here. I moved here because I think this is an amazing community. So I think it's important for the community to step up and support what we do in connecting the community and connecting kids and ensuring that kids and families have what they need in order to be successful.
So you will be receiving, we're doing a mailing, the mailing's going out.
Yes.
Folks that donated last year, there'll be a letter going out thanking you and also asking if you could repeat your donation. Board members have written little notes to people that they know, just to say, that so you have a face to a personal connection to the community, and really all of the money that goes into the organization goes back out through programming. I mean, some of it's for staffing because you have to pay staff, but it goes back into programming and connecting. And also you do the tobacco. That's another component of what you do, the tobacco stop. What's the campaign? I'm stumbling over it.
Tobacco cessation.
Okay, that can't say that word.
It's like it doesn't roll off the tongue. There's the Department of Health has a program called 802 Quits.
Okay,
and that is quit smoking resources. So.
But that's really that's been one of, and I don't want to say, it's been one of the big programs that you've done. That's how I first met you.
Oh, really?
When we were doing smoke-free environments
and
all the smoke-free zones that you did around town and everything. That was just, it was an amazing campaign, and you were there before it was cool.
Yeah.
You were, it was really cool.
Yeah, so we focus on tobacco, alcohol, marijuana, and prescription drug misuse. Those are the primary, we focus upstream, so those are the kind of the big four that we focus on. So so we do those specific outreach around those substances, but also the youth asset development.
And you did also, you see all the signs that we see about don't be a friend, be a parent. That was your campaign too. That's really important.
Yeah, the long signs with the hand that. A pledge to show up for your kids and be the wall between youth use and youth alcohol, youth and alcohol.
But you also support and connect programs for adults as well. Like recently there was an event at the library where a gentleman came in, the Redemption Project, and talking about people in recovery, and that was a project that, again, because you're Greater Falls Connections, you weren't the lead on it, but you were there supporting it. I think that's important for the community to know as well, that while you are youth-based, you do support and connect and show up at all of the other events too. So maybe someone, again, if they get a donation letter, they might be thinking, well, that's not where I
that's
want
not
to put
for
my
me,
money.
but it's really
you're more
you have such a broad
encompassing
base.
than
Yeah, and
the
any of our member organizations, which membership, I mean, it's broad. You don't have to show up with, a $100 bill and a membership form. It's really, a member is anyone who supports our mission, which our mission is to educate and inspire the community to reduce drugs and alcohol with a focus on youth and
really that's
empowering. So any organization that wants to partner with us on that, we have capacity around community organizing, publicity, media. So we're really the backbone to make things happen for this community, specifically to bring the community together around our future.
And truly, if in looking at the big opioid crisis, there'll be a lot done in the recovery, but if you can get it on the front end and you can prevent it moving forward, generations forward, that's where you're going to see significant change, is prevention and starting with the kids and getting those at-risk kids. And not necessarily just the at-risk ones, but those are the ones that
you're
are
right.
the most vulnerable.
Yeah. And I'll say that would be a crisis. Like, I've learned so much. I'm grateful that our organization has been, is in this community and is able to respond at that level of, we have this crisis showing up at our door. And while we, our primary focus is on youth and families, I mean, it affects everyone.
It does.
So I've felt very fortunate that Greater Falls Connections, our organization, and our members and our community have really shown up to try to solve this problem. Because I think when you were emceeing, our forum, I think you helped us with 2 forums, kind of leading those. It's really about this community comes together to help our own, and we can't wait for anyone in Montpelier or
and that's
even
been
more
proven
DC,
out, hasn't it?
right?
It's like the paratroopers didn't fall down from Montpelier and fix things here. It's
with Tropical
been
Storm
up to us.
Irene, we came together, to provide for each other, and all kinds of causes. Even this last year we had some tragedies around the youth dying, and the community came together and.
Even I was impressed with the number of people that came out to the forums, even though I know that the timing of the forums and the promotion of the forums wasn't 100%.
Yeah, I think
The-
that's
the
gonna
Came
keep
about
up.
quickly.
We're
Yeah,
sort of
the
backloading on
visit.
that,
Yeah,
but I
we
think
are.
that's gonna.
Yeah, and moving forward, I think we'll be more progressive about. But no, the community does, and that.
Too,
That's one thing that came out, I think, in all of those meetings, was that there's a certain amount of town pride here.
Yeah,
in the
what was the
community.
reformer, like, loyalty and pride.
Yeah, that's what came
Those are
out.
those are the-
Yeah,
that's
I was
amazing. That came
really
out.
happy about that.
Yeah.
But we are just about out of time, so I want to go back
Yeah, do we get a little
and
off
talk. Yeah, we did. We went on. Our tangents are always good, though.
We always do.
We're going to go back to Laura and talk about Greater Falls Connection. Where are you? How do we get in touch with you? How do we give you
And how do you
support
give money?
and
Yes,
get money?
yes.
I was going to be polite and say
Thank you,
support.
and I will
But-
tell you, I don't come to the fundraising piece naturally because but I really believe in what we do, and I think the board is such an amazing, dedicated board. So how you can stay connected is we have a Facebook page, Greater Falls Connections. And many of you will be getting a letter in the mail talking about our organization and how you can support us. There's a return envelope there, so all you have to do is fill it out, show whatever level of support you can give. Any amount helps, and put a stamp on it, put it in the mail, and it'll come to our offices. Or you can donate online, greaterfallsconnections.org/donate.
Now, could someone donate their time?
Absolutely.
Because that's
Yep.
just another, I know some people, the monetary donation idea
Yeah.
puts them
Mhm.
off.
Mhm.
So you oftentimes need volunteers for the events that
Yep.
you run. You
Yep.
run a lot of youth events and
Yep.
people to come and help out, so that's
Yep.
another way.
Yep.
So you're located in Parks Place,
Yep.
on the second floor, all the way in the back.
Yes.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it has an actual number back there?
The office numbers?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Just come
I'll just
Just
say,
upstairs.
go
I
in
just say,
there.
I don't think there's actually.
Just
a
come
numbers up
upstairs and be
there.
like Greater Falls Connections, or just point upstairs and
Yes,
walk
you'll
in. They're
find
very
it.
You'll
helpful.
find
They
it.
can
Great.
find you. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
thank you.
thanks,
Thank you.
Laura.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm so happy to
And
come
yes,
on the
your first time
show.
on the feed.
And it was easy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy.
You'll have to come back.
Yes.
All right.
Next
Well,
week
thank
on
you,
the
Bellows
feed.
Falls. That's it for the feed this week, and we'll see you next
Next week.
week.